Hello dear students, welcome to science class. Dear students, in the previous video we had learned about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In that we learned about displacement reaction, and I told that displacement reaction is a very important reaction. So, and you have also seen the video related to displacement reaction. Today, I would like to explain an activity which is there in your textbook. The activity is like this. So there are 5 beakers, and in first beaker, in beaker A, copper sulfate solution is taken and zinc granule is added. In beaker B, copper sulfate solution is taken. So copper sulfate, the color of the copper sulfate is, this is the color, the bluish color, okay. So it is called copper sulfate blue. So in beaker B, copper sulfate is there, and in beaker C, zinc sulfate is there. In beaker 4, iron sulfate, and in beaker E, zinc sulfate. So later, after taking this solution, so actually you have to remember that displacement reaction will take place only in a solution. It won't happen in a crystal or with a powder. Okay, so if you add a copper sulfate powder and iron, the reaction will not take place. The reaction happens only in the solution. Only when you mix the copper sulfate powder or crystal in water, it becomes copper sulfate solution. Then only the reaction takes place. So now in these 5 beakers we have taken different solutions. Okay. So now in the first beaker, what we are doing is we have taken copper sulfate solution. In that, zinc granule is added. Okay. Now tell me what happens. See, what is added to it? Zinc. Okay. So who is the zinc a more reactive metal than copper? Yes or no? Yes, zinc is more reactive than copper. We will see here, you can see the zinc above to copper. The copper is below, zinc is above. The above metals are more reactive. Now what happens is, now the zinc is so stronger that it can replace copper from the solution. It will displace copper from the solution, and what happens? It becomes zinc sulfate. Can you see the first beaker down? It becomes zinc sulfate. The solution becomes zinc sulfate, and copper is displaced. It is removed from the solution. It is separated from the solution, and that is why the color of the solution is changed. Now the next beaker is copper sulfate. So in the copper sulfate, iron is added. Now, can iron displace copper from the solution? Is iron stronger than copper? Let us check. Yes, iron is stronger than copper. It is above the copper. So iron is present above to copper. Now it can displace the copper from the solution. That's why it became iron sulfate and copper is displaced. Copper is separated, or okay, so copper is displaced means it gets collected down. Copper gets collected down. I hope you have shown this. I have shown this reaction in your 7th standard also. I feel so. Next, in beaker C. In beaker C, zinc sulfate is there, and you are putting copper. Now, is this reaction takes place? Is copper more powerful than zinc? Let us check. See, zinc is here and copper is here. It is zinc sulfate. For zinc sulfate, you are adding copper. So, what you added? Copper. Is copper more reactive than zinc? No, because copper is below zinc. So, any reactions won't take place, and the solution remains as it is. See, the solution remaining as it is. Now come to beaker D. Iron sulfate solution is there. Iron sulfate solution is mostly brownish in color. Okay, so iron sulfate solution is there. To that we are adding copper. We will see whether Iron is stronger or copper is stronger? Oh, iron is stronger. Your copper is not stronger. So no reaction takes place. The reaction does not take place. That is why the color of the solution remains as it is. What about the last one? E1 zinc sulfate solution is there. For that you are adding iron nail. Does the reaction take place? We will see whether iron is stronger or not. Iron is stronger, but your zinc is there, no, it is top of iron. So iron is not stronger. Iron is not stronger than zinc. Iron is not reactive than zinc. So no reaction takes place. So understood about the displacement reaction. Hope you have understood this displacement reaction. Okay. Now this uh, this is what you have learned about the chemical properties. Now what is the chemical properties of non-metals? See here, already we have studied, already I have told you about the chemical properties. See here, non-metal do not react with water or steam. Okay, so metals was reacting with water and it was forming its hydroxides, isn't it? I told that some metals like sodium was so reactive, some metals like iron was less reactive, and some metals will not react at all. But non-metals will not react at all with water or steam. Next you see, non-metals generally do not react with acids and bases at room temperature. So there is no reaction of non-metal with acid and base also. So metals was reacting with acids, metals was reacting with bases and was producing hydrogen gas, but non-metals do not do so. That is the difference. Now coming to the last topic, that is uses of metals and non-metals. Okay, so that is very important topic. What are the uses of metals and non-metals? See, and metals and non-metals are commonly used. We use, so especially in metals we use it in a, okay, we cannot mention how much we use metals. Okay, so first point, metals are used in making electric wires, cables, because they are good conductor of electricity, isn't it? Your copper, aluminium, even silver, I told, they can be used as a good conductor of electricity. Hence they are used in making electric wires and cables. Next, metals are used in making pipes, tanks, tracks, cylinders, agriculture tool. Okay, so all the equipments can be made out of these metals. Yes or no? Your steel pipes, okay, then agricultural equipments, whatever it is, it may be a plow or tractor or what. So you know that even vehicles are made up of metals. Next you see, stainless steel is used in making utensils. Earlier steel utensils means the vessels that we used for cooking or in the kitchen. Earlier steel was used, aluminum was used. Nowadays the steel, aluminum, even those are metals, and nowadays a new metal is introduced, that is stainless steel. Stainless steel will not get rusted. Okay, that is why stainless steel is used, that you learn in the next chapter. So even that is a metal. Copper is used to make water bottle. See, these are all silly examples actually, but you know how much we use all these metals. Copper means we know how we use copper vessels. Okay, and earlier copper was in use, and even to draw water, copper pots were used. Okay, then iron is used for the construction of building, bridges. So all these things once again I will repeat it. Gold, platinum, silver are used in making jewelry. Chromium is electroplated over iron materials to prevent corrosion. So chromium is also a metal. So it is coated over the iron materials to prevent corrosion, to prevent rusting. So what is the meaning of electroplating? All this you will learn in the next chapter. So I hope you know what is electroplated. At least you know what is galvanization, the coating of zinc on iron, isn't it? In the same way we are coating chromium on iron and that is called electroplating. Mercury is a metal, it is used in thermometers and CLF bulbs. Then aluminum foil is used in wrapping the food. Aluminium is used as vessels also. Metals are used in making machinery, automobiles, aeroplanes, trains, satellites, etc. All these are used, and there are so many other importance of metals, and I think we cannot make a list that much. We use metals. Now the next is uses of non-metals. So what are the uses of non-metals? See here, oxygen is a non-metal, and you know the importance of oxygen, isn't it? Oxygen is essential for respiration in living things. It is also needed for burning. You know how much respiration or breathing is important. We are living because we breathe, and also it is needed for burning also. If oxygen is not present, we cannot burn anything. Carbon is present in nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and vitamins. So carbohydrate so now we will understand how much we tell now living we'll tell that matter is nothing but all living things and non-living things are made up of matter. Okay, matter means they are nothing but all these elements and all. So even in the living things, even in the food we eat contains carbon, that is a non-metal. Carbon is present in the allotropic forms like diamond, graphite, coal, charcoal. They are all the allotropic form of carbon. It is all formed from carbon, your diamond, graphite, coal, and all. If you burn it, you get the carbon at last. Hydrogen is a non-metal. It is used as a fuel. Nitrogen is used as fertilizer to enrich the soil. Chlorine is used in the water purification and as bleaching agent in textile industries. Chlorine, it is used for water purification because it kills germs, and chlorine is a non-metal, and it is also used as a bleaching agent. Bleaching agent means to remove the color in textile means cloth, fabric industries. Non-metals like sulfur, especially sulfur, are used in crackers. Non-metals like iodine is applied on wounds as an antiseptic. When you go visit the hospitals, if you have wound, a purple colored solution will be applied to the wound, and that purple color solution is nothing but iodine. So what we have learned in this chapter, I have taken a lot of time for this chapter and have made short videos because so that you will understand it thoroughly. Okay, I have taken more days for this lesson for you to understand it. So at last what we have learned? We have learned about the physical properties of metals and non-metals, chemical properties of metals and non-metals, and also we learned about the uses of metals and non-metals. So at last you came to know what are these metals and non-metals, how important is metals and non-metals, and how familiar we are with metals and non-metals, isn't it? So if you're not understood, please go back again, watch the video, understand it, and at least I should come to know whether you are seeing the videos or not. At least put a comment in the comment box, at least okay, be in touch with the teacher so that the teacher will understand. So thank you.